Control what you can control and let the world take care of the rest. How is everybody doing? What's going on, everyone? Agent Mahina here, aka your daily physique. I hope you're having an amazing day. If this is your first time joining me, I'm a lawyer, but at the same time, I'm a bodybuilder. As all of you know, we are on a journey to take control of our lives. Yesterday we talked about the idea of fear and how fear tends to inhibit us and restrict us from taking action. Today I want to go ahead and talk about our environment. When it comes to our environment, tell me if I'm wrong, but it's so easy for us to react. For example, maybe you're hanging out with one of your friends and that friend is, for some reason, who knows what the reason is, but for some reason your friend is unhappy. Hanging out with that friend, you find yourself starting to become unhappy. In that scenario, we're letting the environment control how we feel. At the end of the day, you and I are in control of our feelings. You and I are in control of our emotions. And the last thing you and I want to do is let the environment dictate how we feel. So if you ever find yourself in that situation where you notice, okay, the sky is gray, I feel a little down, I feel a little sad, realize that you have the power and that you have the control to be happy in that moment, even when the environment is calling for something else. The next thing I want to go ahead and talk about is taking control of when you start to compare yourself with others. Maybe you're applying for a job and you see the other candidates that are also applying for that job, and you see all the experiences that they have, all the badges of honor that they wear, and you compare yourself and you say, there is no way that I would ever amount to that person. Well, let me tell you something. At the end of the day, it does not matter what that person brings to the table, because you have to remember that you yourself are bringing something as well. So imagine it as a picnic. You may not be able to bring much. Maybe you're starting off, maybe you're brand new, but you're bringing something, and that something matters. And so in situations where you find yourself comparing yourself to the next person, catch yourself and remind yourself that you shouldn't be doing that, that you yourself, that you have something amazing to bring to the table. And if there isn't much that you have to bring, realize that you're still bringing something, which is the most important part, because you are now a part of this picnic. You are here and you belong. And the last piece of advice that I want to give you in terms of taking control of your life is to operate at the best of your ability. As long as you try to operate at the best of your ability, the world will reveal its master plan for you. You just gotta take control of the here and now. It wasn't until the beginning of my third year semester in law school that I realized what I wanted to do. I realized that I could concentrate in both business and tax. And so I decided that even though I could have had an easier year by taking easier classes, I chose to challenge myself. I chose to take these tax classes, these business classes, classes that everyone else was trying to avoid. And although I wasn't the Witkin, the top of the class, I did my best and I applied myself to the best of my ability. During my third year, I happened to Google best business attorneys nearby, and I happened to find one which was about 5 miles away from my house, maybe 4. The cool thing was, I was actually able to see this lawyer's law firm each time I entered the freeway, each time I had to drive to school. And I remember so vividly driving with my mom and my dad, And I remember passing the law firm, and I remember pointing to it, and I remember telling them, and I can remember the tone, the excitement I had in my voice. One day, I'm gonna work there. So my last semester comes around. March 14th is when I took the professional responsibility test, a test that all pre-lawyers need to take. And I took it, and as soon as that first Monday came around, I moved and I applied. I believe it was around March 17th. That's when I suited up, I went to the office. The funny thing is, I didn't even go to the office with a resume in hand. I didn't go to the office with a cover letter. I had absolutely nothing but a burning desire to work there. And so I went there, I spoke with a front desk lady, and she told me, Mr. Lawyer is not ready. Come back in 30-40 minutes. So I leave the office, I go to my car, and I'm sitting there contemplating, practicing the speech that I had recited the night before. All I needed was that opportunity and that chance to speak with Mr. Lawyer. And so I waited my 40 minutes, I went back into the office, and the front lady said, you know what, it would be best for you to email Mr. Lawyer. He's busy, he's meeting with clients, and keep in mind, this is right before, or this is actually during the entire corona epidemic started. And so I said, okay, that's fine, I'll go ahead and email him. And so at this point, I've been rejected twice already. At this point, any reasonable person would have left, would have driven away, would have said to oneself, okay, I'm just gonna send an email with my resume and my cover letter. But there was something that was tugging at my heart, something that was telling me to operate at the best of my ability. And I knew that if I drove away that day, I knew that I would be cutting myself short of operating at the best of my ability. Talk about persistence, right? And so I walked back in for the third time, but this time the front desk lady is no longer there. There's a different lady that's assisting another employee of the office, and the new lady looks at me and she says, is there anything I can help you with? And I say, no, there's absolutely not. I need to speak with the front desk lady that was helping me earlier. I need to tell her why I'm here. I'm looking for a job. I'm a third-year law student, and I would like to provide any type of assistance wherever it's needed. And so she said, okay, go ahead and have a seat, and we'll go ahead and take care of you. And so I was sitting there, and something was telling me, talk to this lady, tell her why you're here, explain to her your reason. And so I looked at her and I said, excuse me, maybe you can help me, maybe you can assist me. And I told her I'm a third-year law student. I told her my name was AJ, and I told her I was looking to provide assistance and help wherever I can. And she looked at me and she said, the best thing for you would be to send in a resume and a cover letter. So keep in mind, I already got this response the entire day. But this response was a little different because she continued and she said, before you go, make sure you grab the card on the front of the desk. And I look and she says, grab Mr. Lawyer's card, but grab mine as well. So I grab Mr. Lawyer's card and I grab hers. And when I walk out the building, of course I say, thank you so much, send in my resume, I'll send in my cover letter. She says, make sure that you send Mr. Lawyer your resume and your cover letter, but CC me as well so that I can make sure that Mr. Lawyer sees your resume and sees your cover letter. And so when I leave the office and I get back into my car, I look at the cards and I see Mr. Lawyer, president of the law firm, and then I see her card, the managing partner. And I just could not believe it. I could not believe how the stars aligned in that moment. And ever since then, at first I started off as an administrative assistant, and I was an administrative assistant for about a week. And then afterwards, they upped me to become the legal law clerk. And so I currently work at this business and tax concentration boutique law firm. I'm the law clerk there, and I couldn't be more excited. But the reason why I share this story with you is because one is you and I need to operate at the best of our ability. Whether or not that's 110%, whether or not that's 50%, 70%, whatever you can operate and however much you can give for that day, do it. But at the end of the day, the most important message that I want to share with you is that in operating at the best of your ability, the world will reveal its master plan for your life. but you have to take action. You gotta put in the work that you're able to put in. And I promise you, the world will respond and you will get to where you need to go. And so have faith. Take control of the here and now. Don't let the environment control your emotions and how you feel. Take control of your emotions. Take control of how you feel. And don't compare yourself to others, because you have something special. You have something to bring to the table that no one else can. So have faith in yourself. Have that self-belief. Have that self-confidence. Have that self-esteem. And once you turn all of these characteristics into a habit, help someone else do the same. Alright everyone, so today's gonna be a pretty straightforward day. First, I'm gonna go ahead and review for the California bar, and then afterwards, I'm gonna go ahead and hit a chest workout. So if you wanna join me in today's journey, stay tuned. Alright everyone, so I have exactly 90 days until the California bar examination. And without further ado, let's get straight to bar review. Alright everyone, in reviewing for the California bar, I thought I'd share something with you that you might find interesting. So yesterday I talked about general warranty deeds. The day before that I talked about quitclaim deeds. Today I want to focus on an assignment and a sublease. Specifically, I want to go ahead and talk about subleases. So what a sublease is it basically means that the landlord and the sublessee does not have privity of contract nor privity of estate. So what exactly does this mean? Allow me to pose you a hypothetical. So one day, Justin Bieber decides that he would like to purchase an apartment building. He would like to invest some of his money. After constructing this beautiful apartment complex, he begins looking for tenants. The first tenant that comes knocking at Justin Bieber's door to apply for one of the apartments is Selena Gomez. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez begin negotiating, and Justin Bieber tells Selena Gomez a secret. And he tells her, when I was 13, I had my first love. There was nobody that compared to my baby, and nobody came between us who can ever come above. Selena Gomez, absolutely astounded at Justin Bieber's rapping skills, tells Justin Bieber, that was amazing. And Justin Bieber, feeling his heart warmed up from that compliment, said, you know what, Selena Gomez, I'll go ahead and give you your keys to the very first apartment building. You, Selena Gomez, will be tenant 1. You, Selena Gomez, will be tenant 1. Selena Gomez is absolutely ecstatic. She moves in all of her stuff and she begins living there. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez agree to a 5-year lease. One day, as Selena Gomez is living in her apartment, absolutely carefree, Louis Capaldi calls Selena Gomez and tells her, I'm going under and this time I fear there's no one to turn to. Selena Gomez asks Louis, what's wrong? What's the problem? And Louis tells Selena Gomez that he's being evicted and that he needs a place to stay. Well, Selena Gomez, having a mansion in the Hollywood Hills, tells Louis, I know you're going through hard times. I'll go ahead and rent out my apartment to you for a year so that you can get back on your feet. Keep in mind, Selena Gomez entered into a lease agreement with Justin Bieber for a period of 5 years. Selena Gomez is only allowing Louis to live in her apartment for 1 year. Selena Gomez is only allowing Louis to live in her apartment for a fraction of her overall 5 years. Louis, absolutely ecstatic about Selena Gomez's willingness to let him live in her apartment, says, thank you so much, Selena Gomez. I owe you my life. and Selena Gomez immediately packs up her stuff and leaves. Selena Gomez, as tenant 1, packs up all of her things and leaves. And Louis, as tenant 2, brings all of his things and begins to move in to the apartment. Well, unfortunately, the day comes where the first month of rent is due. Louis, as the sublessee, should have paid for that first month, but he just couldn't. Justin Bieber calls Selena Gomez and says, "Selena, I need my first month payment for the apartment." And Selena says, "You know, I had subleased it to Louis, who is supposed to be making the first month's rent payment." Justin Bieber says, "That's absolutely okay, as long as I receive my monthly due." Selena Gomez gets off the phone with Justin Bieber, and then she immediately calls Louis in order to figure out what's going on with the rent payment. Selena calls Louis. Louis answers the phone, and Selena says, "Louis, where's the rent? Justin Bieber just told me that you didn't pay for the month." And Louis says, "I need somebody to heal, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold." And Selena says, I understand that you need somebody to heal and somebody to know and somebody to hold, but you gotta make sure that you make that rent payment. We have a problem here, Louis." And Selena Gomez waits to hear Louis's response, but all she hears is a hang up and a dial tone. The legal issue that arises is who is responsible to Justin Bieber for that month's rent. Is Selena Gomez responsible for that month's rent as tenant 1? Or is Louis responsible for that month's rent as tenant 2, as sublessee? Stay tuned to find out the answer to that question. So the legal issue that arises in this scenario is Justin Bieber is the landlord of the apartment building. Justin Bieber had entered into a lease contract with Selena Gomez for a total term of 5 years. As the days progressed, Selena Gomez, as tenant 1, got a phone call from Louis, who later became tenant 2. Selena Gomez gave Louis a 1-year term to live in the apartment to get back on his feet. Because Selena Gomez and Louis entered into a term period of only a year, that means that Louis is a sublessee. Again, this means that Louis has no privity of estate or no privity of contract with Justin Bieber, the landlord. In other words, because Louis does not have privity of estate or privity of contract with Justin Bieber, this means that Selena Gomez has privity of estate and privity of contract with Justin Bieber. In other words, she is the one that will be responsible for that month's rent. So in answering that question, in failing to pay that month's rent, who is responsible to Justin Bieber as the landlord? Tenant 1, Selena Gomez, or tenant 2, Louis? Selena Gomez as tenant 1, as the tenant with privity of estate and privity of contract with Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez will be responsible for that month's rent. However, Selena Gomez can then go after Louis in the court of law in order to obtain any losses she procured. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed that short law lesson, and I hope you learned something new. I thought it was pretty interesting, and I hope you did too. Alright everyone, so I'm done studying for the day, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a break now. I'm gonna go ahead and hit chest. So if you wanna join me in today's chest workout, stay tuned. back. I hope you enjoyed that short law lesson, and I hope you enjoyed that short chest workout. But most importantly, as you and I take steps towards taking control of our life, I want you to remember that you and I are in control. You and I should never let the environment control how we feel. If we want to be happy, we can be happy. If we want to be sad, we can be sad. But at the end of the day, the weather will never dictate how we feel. Our friends and family around us will never dictate how we feel, because we are in control of our emotions. Secondly, I want to remind you that we should never compare ourselves to others, because you and I bring something special to the table. And as we progress down this road, as we continue applying ourselves to the best of our ability, we'll be able to bring more, we'll be able to provide more, but only time will tell. What you can control is the here and now. So I encourage you to take control of the present moment, to operate at the best of your ability, and to take control of your life. And in doing so, in taking control of your life, help someone else do the same. And with that being said, you know what time it is. It's time to get up off your phone. It's time to get up off your bed. And it's time to rise.